I slept with my ex to make my husband jealous, but he didn't care. Turns out he'd already moved on. With my best friend. Now everyone says I deserve it, but I can't tell if I'm the villain or the victim. I was scrolling through my phone, mindlessly checking notifications, when a message from Ethan popped up. My heart stopped. Just seeing his name made a strange mix of excitement and anxiety curl in my stomach. Hey. I've been thinking about you. I miss you. Can we talk? I stared at it. One simple text, and suddenly the room felt smaller, quieter, like it was waiting for my reaction. I swallowed and shoved my phone in my pocket. Ryan was on the couch, scrolling through his emails, completely absorbed. I tapped him on the shoulder. Hey, my ex texted me, I said, holding out my phone. Says he misses me. He glanced at the screen, then back at his laptop. Okay. I froze. Okay? Just, okay? He shrugged, not even looking up. What do you want me to say? I took a deep breath, trying not to shake. I don't know. Maybe, surprise? Anger? Something? He shook his head, tapping on the keyboard. I don't get it. Why does this matter? It matters because it's him, I said, voice trembling. We were together for 2 years. We mattered to each other. Ryan leaned back, arms crossed. And now? Now. I don't know, I whispered. My throat felt tight. I wanted him to look at me like I mattered. Like he cared. I mean, we've been married for 4 years, and it feels like I don't exist anymore. He didn't respond. Just a quiet hum as he typed. Ryan, I pressed. Do you even love me anymore? He looked at me, really looked at me, and I swear I saw nothing. Nothing at all. I don't know, he said softly, almost bored. Maybe. Maybe not. I'm tired, I guess. My chest tightened. Tired. That was it. That was all I got. My mind raced. Was it really this bad? Had he stopped loving me long before I even noticed? I just don't understand, I whispered. I needed something. He leaned forward, resting his forehead on his palm. You're not going to get it from me. I've said everything I can. Maybe you should talk to him. I blinked. Talk to him? Yeah. Ethan. You said he wants to talk. Why not? See what you want. Figure out what's missing. I felt a pang of disbelief. You're serious? He shrugged. Follow your heart. Or don't. I don't care either way. My hands were shaking. I wanted to scream, cry, shake him until he felt something. Anything. But he just sat there, calm as ever, like I hadn't just said I was thinking about leaving. I took a step back, trying to steady my voice. You're just fine with it. Just letting me go if I want to. He leaned back, smiling faintly. I'm not stopping you. I won't fight you. You always had your choices. Now's no different. I swallowed hard, panic rising. My chest felt hollow, like I was emptying out from the inside. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I even want to do this, I said. He just nodded. Then maybe you're not meant to be with me right now. Figure it out, okay? I stared at him, my ex's text burning in my mind. My life suddenly felt fragile. Like I was standing at the edge of something I couldn't stop, and I didn't even know if I wanted to fall. I slipped out of the room, phone clutched tightly. My hands were shaking. My stomach ached. And deep down, I knew one thing, something had just shifted. Something inside me had woken up. I don't know if I should meet him, I whispered, my hands gripping the edge of the kitchen counter. Ryan didn't look up from his coffee. Then don't. I mean, he wants to see me. Just talk. Maybe for closure, maybe. I don't know. My voice cracked. Ryan finally glanced at me, his expression calm. Too calm. Then see him. What? I froze. You're serious? Yeah. Follow your heart. I laughed nervously, shaking my head. That's it? You're really okay with this? He shrugged, taking a slow sip. I'm not stopping you. Go if you need to. Or don't. Your choice. I stared at him, my chest tightening. I thought. I don't know, maybe you'd react. Maybe fight for me. He leaned back, crossing his arms. Fight for you? You're not leaving yet. You just want to see someone else. I felt heat rise in my face. I feel invisible. You don't ask where I go, you don't notice if I leave. And suddenly he's texting me, my voice wavered. I needed something. Ryan didn't answer. Just a faint shrug. Go figure it out. I bit my lip, heart pounding. You're really fine with me, meeting him? I said follow your heart. That's the most I can do. I couldn't believe it. His calm, his detachment, it hurt more than anger ever could. I wanted him to fight for me, wanted him to care. But he didn't. So I did it. I texted Ethan back. I'll meet you for coffee. Just talk. 2 days later, I walked into the little cafe we used to go to, and there he was, Ethan, smiling like no time had passed. I wasn't sure you'd actually come, he said, standing to hug me. I wasn't sure either, I admitted, my voice barely above a whisper. He laughed softly. You haven't changed at all. Still anxious, still beautiful. I felt a warmth spread through me. You remember, my voice faltered. My favorite coffee? Of course, he said, waving the waitress over. 2 caramel lattes, extra foam. Just like you always get. I swallowed hard. He remembered. Something Ryan had forgotten weeks ago, months ago, slipped from his mind like water through fingers. Ethan remembered. So, marriage, he asked carefully. How's it going? I hesitated. Stale. Cold. We don't talk much anymore. He nodded. I remember that feeling. I hated it too. We talked, but really, I listened to him. Every word was like oxygen. Every memory he recalled about me felt like someone finally seeing me again. My favorite book series, the songs I loved, even the way I twisted my hair when nervous, he noticed it all. I missed this, I whispered finally, voice trembling. Being seen. Being noticed. He reached across the table, hand brushing mine lightly. You deserve to be seen. Always. I pulled back slightly, heart racing. I don't know if I deserve it now. He smiled softly. Deserve it or not, it's there. You can't ignore it. Afterward, I went home, expecting Ryan to ask, to care. But he didn't. He just nodded when I walked in, like I'd been out for groceries, not having coffee with someone who remembered me in ways he no longer did. I sat on the couch, staring at the floor. Ethan had reminded me that I was more than the invisible wife at home. But the cold emptiness of my marriage now felt heavier than ever. And deep down, I started to wonder, maybe I had been wrong to settle. Maybe the life I thought I wanted had already abandoned me. I can't keep doing this, I said quietly as Ethan sipped his coffee. He looked at me, calm, like he already knew. Doing what? This, meeting like this. I'm married. It feels wrong. He smiled softly, leaning back in his chair. Wrong? Or exciting? I bit my lip, heart racing. Both. I don't know. I feel alive when I'm with you. It's been so long since someone actually notices me. You deserve to feel alive, he said, eyes steady on mine. You deserve better than feeling invisible. I swallowed, trying to steady my voice. I know I should stop. I keep telling myself it's harmless, just coffee, but it's not. It's never just coffee with you. He laughed lightly, a sound that made my chest ache. Then don't pretend it is. You've been hiding under the weight of a marriage that doesn't see you. Let yourself breathe for once. I looked down at my hands. He was right. Ryan didn't notice anymore. He didn't ask where I went. Didn't care about my days or my moods. I thought maybe he'd stopped loving me long ago. You make it sound so easy, I whispered. Easy? He asked, raising an eyebrow. It's not easy. But it's honest. I closed my eyes for a moment, letting the warmth of his words sink in. The truth was, I craved this honesty. I craved attention. I craved someone telling me I mattered. I can't stop thinking about you, I admitted finally. I know I shouldn't, but I can't. He reached across the table, hand brushing mine. I can feel it. You don't have to fight it alone anymore. The next time we met, my resolve shattered completely. The coffee turned into lingering touches, the laughter into stolen kisses. My mind screamed that I was crossing a line, but my heart wanted to feel again. I shouldn't, I said, voice shaking as he held me close. You should, he whispered. You deserve this. And then I gave in. One night, in the quiet of his apartment, I let myself fall. Every hesitation, every moral voice, every guilt, everything was gone in that moment. It felt wrong and right all at once. Afterward, I lay in his arms, heart pounding, stomach twisting. What have I done? I breathed, tears threatening to spill. You wanted to be seen, he murmured. You are. I pulled back slightly, staring at him. Triumph and guilt warred inside me. I had done it. I had made a choice that would change everything. And yet, I couldn't feel proud. Not entirely. The next morning, I left quietly, my shoes in my hand, heart racing. I drove home, every red light feeling like a judgment. My stomach clenched as I approached the house. I rehearsed what I would say. I need to tell you something, I started as soon as I stepped in. Ryan didn't look up. He just sat on the couch, reading. Calm. Too calm. What is it? I slept with Ethan, I blurted out, words tumbling out in a rush. He closed the book slowly, finally looking at me. I know. I froze. You know? You're not subtle, he said softly. I've seen this coming for weeks. Why didn't you stop me? My voice trembled. You could have. I didn't stop you because you wanted out, he said quietly. I've said nothing could make you stay. I opened my mouth, but no words came. My triumph, my shame, my anger, they all tangled into a single knot in my chest. And he just sat there. Calm. Unmoved. I stood in the doorway, my hands trembling. Ryan. I need to tell you something. He looked up from his book, calm as ever. What is it? I swallowed hard, trying to steady my voice. I slept with Ethan. He didn't flinch. Didn't shout. Didn't even blink too quickly. He just closed his book slowly and said, I know. I froze. You know? My voice shook. How could you know? You're not subtle, he said quietly, leaning back on the couch. I've been seeing this coming for weeks. Every little thing, the way you act, the way you disappear. I know. I felt my stomach drop. Weeks? You knew, and you did nothing? He shrugged, a faint sadness in his eyes. I didn't stop you because you wanted out. I've said nothing could make you stay. My hands curled into fists. You just, let me hurt you. Let me destroy what we had. It wasn't about stopping you, he said, voice even, almost gentle. You were already gone inside. You just didn't see it. The words hit harder than any yell could have. I opened my mouth, searching for something, anything, to argue, to defend myself, but there was nothing. Just the quiet. The terrible, suffocating quiet. I thought you'd care. I thought, my voice broke. I thought you'd fight for me. Just, something. Anything. He shook his head slowly. I don't fight for someone who wants to leave. I only fight for someone who stays. I sank onto the chair across from him, chest heaving. But I didn't want to leave. Not really. I I needed attention. I needed proof that I mattered. And now. You wanted a reaction, he said, voice low. Not love. Not forgiveness. You wanted to hurt me. Tears burned my eyes. I didn't mean to. I thought maybe if I hurt you, you'd wake up. You'd notice me again. He sighed, a sound so quiet it was almost part of the silence. I noticed you years ago. I've seen you long before this. But you stopped letting me in. I stared at him, the truth sinking in. All this time, I had craved a reaction. I had wanted fireworks, anger, jealousy, some sign that I still mattered. And instead, I got nothing. Indifference. Calm. The kind of calm that felt like a mirror, showing me how little I had really fought for myself. Is this the end? I asked, voice barely audible. He didn't answer right away. He just stood, stretching slowly, as if nothing had happened. I'll sleep in the guest room tonight, he said finally. We can figure out the divorce details tomorrow. Divorce? My throat went dry. Just like that? He looked at me, eyes steady. I've been ready for it. I didn't need your confession to make me leave. You've already started walking away in your heart. I felt my knees weaken. My triumph, my shame, everything I had felt after Ethan, it all collapsed into emptiness. I had wanted control, wanted proof, wanted to feel alive. And instead, I was left with this hollow, terrible quiet. He walked past me, out of the room, and I realized I had never felt smaller. Not guilty, not angry, just invisible. For the first time, I understood. I hadn't done this to test him, or to feel alive. I had done it to see if I still mattered. And I didn't. I watched Ryan walk past me into the guest room, his movements calm, almost casual. He didn't look back. I wanted him to glance at me with anger or hurt, but he didn't. Just the quiet click of the door closing behind him. I sank onto the couch, feeling the weight of the night settle into my chest. My phone buzzed. Lena. Hey, I typed shakily. Can we talk? A few minutes later, she called. Her familiar voice was like oxygen. Of course. What's going on? Everything, I whispered, voice trembling. He just. I told him. About Ethan. And he didn't yell. Didn't scream. He just let me be. Then he walked away. And now he's in the guest room. There was a pause. Cold but fair, Lena said softly. I think that's the right word. He's not cruel, he's just detached. I chewed my lip. Detached? He's terrifying. I wanted some reaction, something to prove I still matter. And I got nothing. Nothing, Lena. I feel like I've disappeared. You haven't disappeared, she reassured me. You're just in a hard place. And I get it. I really do. I let out a shaky laugh. You always get it. You're the only one who does. You'll be okay, she said softly. I'll be here. Always. I clung to her words like a lifeline, pressing the phone to my ear and letting myself breathe. For the first time in hours, I felt safe. The next morning, I came out of the bedroom bleary-eyed, and my heart stopped. Divorce papers sat neatly on the table. Cold, stark, impossible. I stared at them, hands shaking. I picked up my phone and called Lena immediately. Lena, the papers. They're here. I know, she said quietly. I spoke to him yesterday. He wanted it to be clean, fair. That's all. No drama. No cruelty. I don't understand, I whispered. How can someone be so calm? So detached? I feel like I'm drowning and he's floating somewhere else. You'll survive, she said firmly. You just need to breathe. One step at a time. I nodded, even though she couldn't see me. I don't know if I can. I feel so alone. You're the only one who listens, Lena. The only one who doesn't judge. I'm here, she said again, softly but firmly. Don't forget that. For the next few days, I clung to her texts, her calls, her words. Every "I'm here" felt like a rope I could hold on to. Until suddenly, nothing. I texted her. Hey, are you there? No reply. Lena? Please. I need you. Still nothing. I stared at my phone, stomach twisting. How could she ignore me? She had been my anchor, my support, the one person I could turn to. And now, silence. I tried again. Lena, if you don't want to talk, just say it. Please. Nothing. The loneliness hit me like a wave. Ryan had left the room. Ethan was a memory I could barely touch without guilt. And Lena, my best friend, my lifeline, had vanished. I sank to the floor, phone in my hand, and felt the walls of my life closing in. The divorce papers gleamed mockingly on the table. My heart ached, and the emptiness was unbearable. I whispered to the silent room, voice breaking. I don't have anyone anymore, no one who really sees me. And for the first time, I felt the full weight of my choices, my betrayals, and the cold reality of being utterly alone. I walked into our favorite restaurant, hoping maybe a familiar place would calm me. The smell of grilled food and coffee hit me first, but then I saw them. Ryan. Lena. They were sitting in our usual corner booth. Laughing. Lena's hand rested lightly on his arm. He smiled at her the way he used to smile at me, soft, intimate, easy. I froze at the entrance, my chest tightening. No, no, this can't be, I whispered to myself. Lena glanced up and saw me. Her face flickered, a quick shadow of guilt, but she didn't move. Didn't reach for me. Ryan looked at me next. Just a small nod. Like we were strangers passing on the street. Like I was invisible. I couldn't breathe. My legs felt like lead. I wanted to run. I wanted to scream. I wanted him to explain himself. But he didn't. I whispered to myself, voice shaking. You already moved on. Lena leaned closer to him, laughing at something he said. The warmth between them was undeniable. My stomach twisted. Weeks, months, while I was trying to hurt him. I stumbled back, hands clutching my purse. I had to get out. The noise, the laughter, the intimacy, it all felt like a punch in the gut. As I reached the door, I murmured, I've been blind, the calm, the indifference, it was all a lie. I ran to my car, slammed the door, and sat there, shaking. My heart was pounding. I put my head in my hands. Everything, all of it. I thought I was the one hurting him. I thought he didn't care. I pressed my phone to my ear, dialing Lena's number, but I didn't have the courage to speak. I just listened to the ringing. It stopped at voicemail. I dialed Ryan next. Ryan, we need to talk. No answer. I leaned back in my seat, tears spilling, anger mixing with disbelief. He's already gone, before I even crossed the line. Before I slept with Ethan. Memories flashed, his calm when I confessed, the detached shrug, the lack of anger, the way he never questioned me. Lena's silence when I needed her. It all clicked into place, every piece falling like dominoes. I whispered to myself, voice barely audible. He didn't wait, he was building this with her while I was spiraling. While I thought I could make him feel something. The betrayal cut deeper than anything I had imagined. My hands shook, my chest ached, and the tears kept coming. Every laugh they shared, every glance, felt like a final confirmation. I started the car, hands gripping the steering wheel like it could anchor me. I wanted to scream. I wanted to confront them. I wanted justice. But the truth was clear. I had lost before I even realized I was fighting. The drive home was silent, only the hum of the engine and my ragged breathing filling the car. I replayed every interaction with Ryan in my mind, every word, every shrug, every calm glance. I whispered through the tears, I destroyed us, but he already moved on. He's gone. And I I didn't see it coming. I parked in the driveway, still trembling, and realized something that made my chest tighten even more. I wasn't just heartbroken. I was alone. Completely. Alone with my guilt, my betrayal, my regret. I stared at my phone for what felt like hours before finally typing. Lena. I need answers. What's going on between you and Ryan? Minutes later, my phone buzzed. I snatched it up. Her reply was short. We didn't plan this. It just happened. I felt my chest tighten. My fingers shook as I typed back. Just happened? We've been friends for years. How does something like this just happen? She answered quickly. It didn't start physically until after your confession. I swear, it wasn't like that before. I blinked at the screen, disbelief mixing with anger. So you're telling me, he was building this with you while I was spiraling? While I was trying to hurt him? I didn't plan anything, she typed again. It just grew naturally. I tried to be there for you, and he needed someone to talk to. That's all. I slammed my phone down on the counter, heart pounding. All? I muttered. All? I grabbed my jacket and drove straight to my sister Maggie's place. I needed someone who would see the truth, or at least make sense of this chaos. Hamza? Maggie's voice was cautious as I burst through the door. I need you to read this, I said, shoving my phone at her. Everything. Lena's texts. Everything Ryan's done. Maggie took the phone, scrolling quickly. Her brow furrowed, lips pressing into a thin line. She looked up at me, eyes sharp. You know what I see? What? I whispered, desperate. You wanted to hurt him, she said bluntly. You did. And now you're hurt because he didn't wait for your guilt. You threw the first punch, and you're surprised he didn't beg to stay? I froze. Her words hit harder than any slap. But I wanted to feel alive. To feel noticed. I burst out. I didn't plan for this. I didn't mean. Doesn't matter, Maggie interrupted. You made your choice. You acted. You cheated. You caused this. And now you're shocked because the consequences landed squarely on you. I felt my stomach twist, tears prickling my eyes. I thought he'd care. I thought he'd fight. I thought, something. Something? Maggie's voice was sharp but not cruel. You wanted proof you mattered. You got proof. Just not the kind you were expecting. I hugged myself, rocking slightly. So. I'm the villain? Really? Maggie softened, but didn't sugarcoat. Maybe. Partly. You acted selfishly. You wanted revenge, or at least a reaction. And you got it. But maybe it's also him. And Lena. Their choices, they matter too. But don't kid yourself, you lit this fire. I leaned back, shaking my head. I thought I was wronged. I thought I was the victim. You're not a saint, Maggie said, voice calm but firm. You're human. Flawed. But this, she gestured at the phone. This is the result of your choices. Own it. I sat silently, absorbing her words. Anger, shame, disbelief, they collided inside me. The betrayal, the guilt, the emptiness. I had wanted clarity, revenge, justice, but the truth was harsher than I expected. Maybe, I whispered, voice trembling. Maybe I really am the villain. Maggie nodded, eyes steady. And maybe that's the only way you'll learn. Only when you face yourself fully can you start to rebuild. I buried my face in my hands, the room spinning. For the first time, the chaos inside me felt real. The betrayals, my mistakes, the heartbreak, it all existed because of my choices. And for the first time, I didn't have a story to tell that painted me as the victim. I had to face the reflection of the person I had become. The moment I walked into the living room, I knew it was over. The tension in the air was suffocating, and every pair of eyes on me felt like knives. Mom, I started, but she cut me off. You've destroyed your marriage, she said sharply, voice trembling with disappointment. I can't believe you did this. I didn't mean, I tried to explain, but the words caught in my throat. You didn't mean to, she snapped, pointing a trembling finger at me. You slept with another man while married. That's not an accident, that's betrayal. My chest tightened. He's not innocent either. I blurted. Ryan, he cheated emotionally. He was distant. He let me spiral, and Lena. Don't even start with excuses, my mom said, voice cold. You made your choices. He didn't force you. I felt a sting in my eyes but turned toward my father. He sat in his chair, reading the newspaper, pretending I didn't exist. Dad? I asked quietly. His eyes flicked up briefly. I don't want to talk right now, he said, voice flat, then went back to his paper. My hands trembled. Not even a word? No. Not after what you've done, he replied. I swallowed hard, my throat tight, and then my brother spoke, his tone sharp and accusing. You're selfish. You always think about yourself. Look at the mess you've created. I felt my stomach drop. Selfish? You think I'm the only one? I yelled, my voice cracking. Ryan, he didn't care. He started something with Lena while I was still trying to fix us. I didn't know. You cheated first, my brother interrupted, cutting me off. You threw the first punch. That's on you. Stop blaming him. I clenched my fists. But he didn't fight for me. He just let me destroy myself. Exactly, my mother said, voice cold. You think he should have begged you to stay after you cheated? That's not love. That's giving into your selfishness. I stumbled back, tears blurring my vision. I wanted to feel seen. I needed him to care. By betraying him, my mom said, shaking her head. By sleeping with someone else? That's not care, that's destruction. I sank into the couch, my hands covering my face. You don't understand. I thought if I hurt him, I could make him notice me again. I thought I was saving us. No, my brother said firmly. You were saving yourself from feeling invisible. That's different from saving a marriage. You didn't see what real love was because you were too busy needing attention. I closed my eyes, the words piercing deeper than anything else. He was right. All my manipulations, all my games, all my desperate attempts to feel alive, it wasn't about love. It was about me. My eyes drifted across the room to the old wedding photo on the mantel. Ryan smiling at me, my face bright, unaware of the cracks forming underneath. I stared at it, my chest aching. I whispered, voice barely audible, the person I betrayed the most, was me. The photo stared back, innocent and unknowing, a reminder of promises made and the trust one had shattered. The coldness in the room settled into my bones. I felt the weight of everyone's judgment, the reality of my choices pressing down, suffocating me. I realized something I hadn't before, my need for attention had blinded me. My hunger to feel seen had made me overlook what real love actually was, the quiet care, the patience, the effort to stay and understand. I reached out to touch the photo, tracing the outline of our smiles. Tears fell freely now, burning my cheeks. I lost myself first, I whispered. And everything else followed. I leaned back, letting the silence consume me, understanding at last that no one else's betrayal mattered as much as the one I had committed against myself. I pushed open the door to Maggie's spare room and stepped inside, feeling the quiet press against me in a way the house never had. No judgments. No anger. Just the calm hum of her small fan and the faint scent of lavender. I hope you don't mind me crashing here, I said quietly, more to myself than anyone else. Your family, Maggie said from the doorway. Stay as long as you need. I nodded, dragging my bag across the floor. I sank onto the bed and pulled out my phone. The screen lit up my face, and I hesitated before opening my old texts. I started with Ethan. My words made me cringe. I just need you to hear me. I need you to see that I'm struggling. I shook my head. The desperation was raw, almost pathetic. God, I sound insane, I muttered aloud. I really thought hurting Ryan would fix me. I moved to Lena's texts, scrolling past the polite replies, the explanations, the avoidance. We didn't plan this. It just happened. The calm distance in her words cut deeper than any shouting ever could. I whispered, she blocked me, of course she did. I pushed too hard. Ryan's lawyer's emails popped up next. Final documents, the divorce finalized. My name removed from the lease. All traces of what used to be ours, gone. I stared at the screen, chest tightening. No house. No husband. No friends. No one. Maggie knocked lightly on the door. You alive in there? I called back, voice small. Yeah, just thinking. You've been through hell, she said, voice gentle. But it's quiet now. Maybe that's a start. I leaned back against the wall, staring at the ceiling. It's not just quiet. It's peaceful, in a way I didn't expect. Not empty, not cold. Just me. And me, for once, isn't fighting everyone else. You're learning, Maggie said. You're owning it. That's the first step. I let out a shaky laugh. Owning it, yeah. I guess I finally see it. The revenge, the lies, the cheating, it all destroyed me first. Always me first. She came closer, sitting on the edge of the bed. You can't fix the past, but you can stop holding the weight of it like a weapon against yourself. I nodded slowly. I thought revenge would make me feel alive. Make him notice me. Make someone care. But all it did, was hollow me out. You're not hollow, Maggie said firmly. You're learning. That counts for something. I opened my phone again, just to glance at Ethan's contact. No reply. No read receipt. Nothing. I closed it. Lena's contact was blocked. Ryan's number, ignored. I whispered to the quiet room, everyone's moved on, and I have to too. But I can't move on pretending I'm innocent. I can't escape the fact that I destroyed everything, starting with myself. Maggie nodded silently. And maybe that's the most important thing to accept right now. You see yourself clearly for the first time. I exhaled, a long, slow breath. The walls of Maggie's room felt like safety instead of judgment. The quiet, the gentle hum, the small comfort, it was enough to let me start untangling the chaos inside me. I murmured, I'll survive. Not because anyone forgives me. Not because I have what I lost. But because I have to face myself first, and maybe, just maybe, that's enough to start again. The room was still. The noise of betrayal, anger, and regret had faded. For the first time, I could hear myself clearly, and it wasn't screaming. It was quiet, steady, real. I was rifling through the drawer in Maggie's spare room, looking for. I didn't even know what. Old pens? A notebook? Maybe just a distraction from the ache in my chest. Then I found it, an envelope, plain, folded neatly. My name written in Ryan's careful handwriting. My hands froze. I whispered, Ryan. I opened it slowly, my heart hammering. Inside, a single sheet of paper, the ink still sharp, you stopped seeing me long before I stopped loving you. I dropped the letter to my lap and blinked back tears. My chest felt raw, hollowed out. I hadn't expected this. Anger? Yes. Resentment? Sure. But grief this deep? Not yet. I whispered again, voice cracking, I did this. I did this, all of it. Maggie's door was closed, her quiet presence somewhere in the house, but I felt utterly alone. I stood, holding the letter like it was both a weapon and a lifeline. I walked to the mirror, every step heavy, hesitant. My reflection stared back, tired eyes, tear-streaked cheeks, the ghost of the person I used to be. You destroyed us, I said to my reflection. I thought I was fighting for attention, for love. I was fighting for myself. I was selfish. I was blind. I pressed the letter against the glass. And you were still here. You never stopped caring. I just didn't see you. I sank to the floor, back against the wall, staring at my own face. I wanted revenge. I wanted proof I mattered. I got proof, but it was the wrong kind. It destroyed everything. I thought of Lena, blocked and gone. I thought of Ethan, silent and unreachable. I thought of Ryan, calm, composed, already moving on without me. I wanted to hurt you all, I whispered, but I ended up only hurting myself. I stood slowly, shaking, and went to Maggie's desk. I found a notebook and pen. I started to write. First, Ryan. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everything I did. For betraying you, for destroying what we had. I see now that you never stopped loving me. I just stopped seeing you. Then Lena. I'm sorry for everything I did that pulled you into this. For testing love, for breaking trust, for letting selfishness guide me. I hope someday you can forgive me, though I don't expect it. Finally, myself. I'm sorry, me. I'm sorry for letting desperation and pride rule me. I'm sorry for hurting myself over and over, thinking validation mattered more than love. I promise I will never destroy something just to see if it survives again. I will learn. I will try. I will be better. I folded the letter, but didn't seal it. I couldn't send it. Some words aren't for others, they're for the soul, the part of me that still wants to be human. I looked back at the mirror. My eyes were red, my cheeks wet, but I felt lighter. Not healed, not forgiven, but awakened. I can't change the past, I whispered. But I can face myself. I can survive myself. I placed the letter gently back in the drawer. It was a monument to what I had done, and what I intended to change. The mirror reflected the truth, unflinching. And for the first time, I didn't turn away. The quiet in Maggie's room wrapped around me like a blanket, not a cage. I let myself breathe. I will learn, I whispered again. And maybe, that's enough to start over.